welcome to my channel Crack a Cube. Today we are going to learn how to solve a 3x3 Rubik's Cube. Hope you all watched my previous video where I've shown you how to solve a 2x2 Rubik's Cube. If you haven't watched, make sure you watch it. Now let's get started by knowing the basic structure of a 3x3 Rubik's Cube. As you already know, this 3x3 Rubik's Cube consists of 3 layers. So 3 different layers. This is the top layer, this is middle layer, and this is the bottom layer. It also consists of 3 different types of pieces: edges, corners, and centerpiece. So this particular centerpiece is called as the centerpiece. So the middle piece in all the layers are called as centerpieces. So this particular piece, this one, and this one. So let me just highlight it to you. So this is the centerpiece. So I just highlighted it. These odd pieces are the centerpieces. There are totally 6 centerpieces in total. And these 4 pieces that form a plus mark except the middle piece are called the edges. So these 4 pieces are the edges. And these 4 remaining pieces except the edge pieces and the middle piece are called the corners. So these corner pieces. Okay, so now for better understanding. So this orange piece is called the centerpiece. These 4 yellow pieces are the edges and white pieces are corners. So whereas it comes here, blue is the center, red are the edges, and orange is the corners. So it applies for all the faces. Let's begin by knowing its basic notations. This is U and U prime, R and R prime, L and L prime, G and G prime, F and F prime, B and B prime. So now let's get started by scrambling this cube. Let's get started by scrambling the cube. I hope this cube is very nicely scrambled, right? Okay, so totally we have 7 steps to solve this cube. Our first step is we'll be making this white cross on the bottom layer. Our second step is we'll be completing the bottom layer. Our third step is we'll be completing the entire bottom 2 layers. Fourth step is we'll be making an yellow cross. Our fifth step is we'll be aligning these edges. Our sixth step is we'll be completing the yellow. Last and the final step is we'll be completing the entire Rubik's Cube. So now let's begin by making a cross. So now I'm holding white to my bottom and yellow towards my top. So you can hold any color towards your front. So now we have to look for a white edge piece in the top layer. So this is the top layer and I have to look for a white edge. Yeah, I've got it. So white may be either here or here. We don't worry about the orientation, but we just want a white edge. So it's right in front of me. And the color that's along with white is green, right? So you just have to bring it right above green. So now here is blue and green might definitely be somewhere in the middle layer. Yeah, it's right here and you just have to bring it there. So right above it. And once it is matched, now you just have to look of the orientation of white. So now the orientation of white is facing me. So white is not facing towards the top, it's facing towards me. If white is facing me, then there is an algorithm that is U prime, R prime, F. Done. We made it. Now look for another white edge piece in the top layer. So I can just see one more right here. Let me come here. Now the color that's along with white is orange. I just match it to orange and now it's looking towards the top. So white is looking towards the top. If white is looking towards the top, then the algorithm is F2. Done. I've got it. Now look for another white edge piece in the top layer. It's right here. So match it with blue. Yeah, I matched it. And now the color that's along with white is blue. I've matched it. And it's looking towards the front. If it's looking towards the front, then the algorithm is U prime, R prime, F. Done. You got it. And now we look for HPs in the top layer. We don't have any. So if you don't have, you have to look where the HPs. It's right here. You just have to bring it towards the top layer. So then push it off and go back. So you can use an algorithm for that too. So the algorithm is RUR prime. So it has come now. So now the color that's along with white is red. You just have to match it with red. And the orientation of white is it's facing towards the top. Then F1, F2. Done. We've made a cross. That's all. So we've solved the first step and let's go ahead with the second step. Our second step is filling the entire bottom layer. So now you have to look for white corner piece. So it's right here. And now you have to look for the colors that are along with white. So here the colors that are along with white are green and orange. So just bring it at the junction where green and orange would be there. So right above there at that junction, just bring there. And now you have to look for the orientation of white, whether white is looking towards their right, top or front. So white is looking towards my right. If white is looking towards your right, then the algorithm is RUR prime. Done? Solved? Next, look for another corner piece. It's right here. So the colors that are along with white are red and green. So just bring it at the junction where red and green meet right here. So now look for the orientation of white. White is facing towards the front. If white is facing towards the front, then the algorithm is F prime, U prime, F. Done. We've got it. Now look for another one. It's right here. And the colors that are along with white are red and blue. Just bring it at the junction where they both meet. So right here. So now the orientation of white is facing towards the top. If white is facing towards the top, then the algorithm is R, U1, U2, R prime, U prime, R, U, R prime. Done? Now, last and final thing. So it's right here. So now the white piece is not at the top layer. It's here. So how do you bring it towards the top? There's an algorithm as I've already told you. That is R, U, R prime. So it has come to the top. And now just bring it at the junction of orange and blue. So the colors that are along with it. And now the orientation of white is towards the top. If white is facing towards the top, then the algorithm is R, U1, U2, R prime, U prime, R, U, R prime. Done. Our bottom layer is solved. Very good. So now let's get on to our third step. Our third step is filling the middle layer. In this step, you have to look for a non-yellow HPs at the top layer. So non-yellow HPs in the sense, the HPs that has no yellow. So for example, let us take this H. You just have to look whether this piece contains yellow or no. So it contains blue and orange. So it's a non-yellow HPs. When it comes here, this is a non-yellow HPs and this is a yellow HPs because it contains yellow. That's all. First, you just have to look for a non-yellow HPs. I choose this one. So it has red and blue and it's a non-yellow HPs. You have to look for the color that is towards the bottom. So that's red. You have to match it to red. So like this one. Once you match it, you have to look for the color that's along with red, that is blue. So it's blue and you have to check whether blue is looking towards your right or towards your left. So now blue is towards my left. So then there is an algorithm to bring this here. Okay. So you just have to bring it here and the algorithm is U prime, L prime, U, L, F prime, L, F, L prime. Done? We've got it here. That's all. So now look for another non-yellow edge piece. It's right here. It has orange and blue. So now just match it to orange because that's towards the down. So once you match it, now look for the color that's along with orange. That's blue. And blue is not towards my left, then it must be towards my right. So if it's looking towards the right, then the algorithm is U, R, U prime, R prime, F, R prime, F prime, R. Done. I've got it here. Now look for another non-yellow edge piece. Yeah, it's right here. So it has orange and green. So it's a non-yellow edge piece. So just match it to orange because that's towards the down. So now look whether green is towards your right or towards your left. Green is towards my left. So the algorithm is U prime, L prime, U, L, F prime, L, F and L prime. Done. I've got it here. Now another non-yellow edge piece. It's right here. And now I have to bring it there. Red is towards my left. So, and not towards my right. So if it's looking towards your left, then the algorithm is U prime, L prime, U, L, F prime, L, F and L prime. Done. I got it here. So now what to do when there's no non-green edge right on the top layer? So now I have brought it to such a situation where there are no non-yellow edge pieces in the top layer. So all the edge pieces has yellow in it. And in that case, you have to look for a unmatched edge piece in the middle layer. So this edge piece is matched and it's in its right place. This is also in its right place, but this isn't. So we just have to take that out. So to take that out, when it's in your right side, so when it's in your right side in this edge place, then you have to use this algorithm to bring this here. It would come out to the top layer. The algorithm is U, R, U prime, R prime, F, R prime, F prime and R. So I've got it right here and the piece that was here had come here. Okay, no problem. Now we have a non-yellow edge piece. So now we can insert it right here. So orange is towards my left. If it's towards my left, U prime, L prime, U, L, F prime, L, F and L prime. Done. So now I've got it. So automatically I can insert it now. So using the algorithm U prime, L prime, U, L, F prime, L, F and L prime. Done. Okay. So what to do if it's in its right place but it's flipped? So this situation occurs few times. So when you're solving the other edges, automatically this may happen. Okay. So when this is in its right place but it's flipped, then what do you have to do? You just have to take it out first. So it's towards your right at this place. So you have to take it out using this algorithm U, R, U prime, R prime, F, R prime, F prime and R. You just took it out. Now match it. Now blue is looking towards your right. So then the algorithm is U, R, U prime, R prime, F, R prime, F prime and R. Done. So our middle layer is solved. Our fifth step is making an yellow cross in the top layer. So let's get on. While going ahead with this step, you just have to make sure whether this middle layer is solved. After it's solved, you have to come here and there occur three situations. So first is this particular thing where there would be a V-shaped mark or an L-shaped mark. Okay. So where there will be only two edges in its right place. So two edges and edges. This is the second situation where no edges will be matched. And this is the final situation where there will be a line or an eye-shaped mark. I'll show you how to solve each one of them. There's just one algorithm for this step, but the place where you use the algorithm would be different. Okay, so let's see each one of them. This is the first situation. So where there will be an L-shaped mark. So now you just have to use the algorithm right here. Okay, you just have to hold L towards your left side and now use this algorithm. F, R, U, R prime, U prime and F prime. You got to an I situation, so the I-shaped situation, and now you have to use the algorithm at the same place right here, and don't use it right here or right here. You can use it right here or here where the edge piece is not flipped. F, R, U, R prime, U prime and F prime. Done. We've got the cross. We've seen two situations. Now let's go on to the third situation. So this is the third situation where no edges are solved. So now you just have to hold any sort of edge in front of you and use the same algorithm. F, R, U, R prime, U prime and F prime. Now you would get an L-shaped mark. Just hold it towards your left side and use the same algorithm. F, R, U, R prime, U prime and F prime. Then use the same algorithm. So we've got to an I-shaped one. So now we can solve it same. F, R, U, R prime, U prime and F prime. Done. So we've seen all the three situations. Our fifth step is aligning the edges of yellow. So in this step you will be bringing these edges to its right positions. So now this is in its right position, but this isn't. So you have to bring this here, this one here and this one here. You just have to rotate this one, and whatever the algorithm that we use, it rotates the pieces. Like this particular piece goes here, this particular piece goes here, and this particular piece comes here. So except this one, all the other edges rotate. Okay, so now you just have to hold one solid edge towards your front and use this algorithm. The algorithm is R, U, R prime, U, R, U, 2 and R prime. Done. So look whether it has rotated. So we have to use the same algorithm again until all the edges align. R, U, R prime, U, R, U, 2 and R prime. So solve, 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 solve. Done. So in few situations, in this particular situation, orange and red edges are solved. So but these two are not. So now you just have to hold any one solid in front of you and use the algorithm R, U, R prime, U, R, U, 2 and R prime. So it makes this one and this one solid. So when two adjacent are solid, you can hold this one right here so that the other three will be unsolved and these keep rotating. Okay. So now, however, you just have to make one to be solved and later you can solve all the four together. R, U, R prime, U, R, U, 2 and R prime. So solved, but these three aren't. So when we use this algorithm now, it would get solved. R, U, R prime, U, R, U, 2 and R prime. This is solved, solved, solved and solved. Done? Okay. So let's move on to the next step. Our sixth step is to fill the entire top layer yellow. And while doing so, our pieces which are solid get shuffled. But once these get to its right positions, once they're flipped, everything would settle and you'd get this all solid, okay? And hence hold the cube at one right position and only turn the top layer whenever necessary, and don't shift the positions like this one and like this one, because you'd get confused and the pieces would get to its wrong positions. So now it's very much important to look at this right extreme corner. So you just have to take whichever corner has no yellow on the top to the extreme right position. Right here, like this one. So you just have to take it like this one. So now I have taken this one and I am holding red to my front. So just look the orientation of yellow at this extreme right top corner. So yellow is looking towards your right or towards your back. So if it's towards the top, then no need to solve because it's already towards the top. So now yellow is towards my right. If yellow is towards my right, then the algorithm is R, G, R prime, G prime, R, G, R prime, G prime. So all these pieces are shuffled, no problem. Once we solve this one, it would get solved. So now you have to bring it at the extreme right position, corner right there. Okay, so just move it and bring it. So now look the orientation of yellow. So the orientation of yellow is facing towards the back. So if yellow is facing towards the back, then the algorithm is D, R, G prime, R prime, G, R, G prime and R prime. Done. So yellow is the top and all the pieces that have shuffled have come to its original positions. We are left with this last step now. So the last step is completing the entire Rubik's Cube. So for this step, you have to look for an attached corner piece which is solved. So this is a corner piece which is solved. So this is the attached corner piece. It's solved. So now you have to look towards the left side of the attached piece and a right side of the attached piece. So this is the attached corner piece and the right of it, the left of it. So you have to look whether the corner pieces of same color facing towards the same direction are towards the right side or towards the left side of the attached piece. So now let's check towards the left side. Yeah, we have two pieces of same color facing towards the same direction right here. So you would get any one when there is an attached piece and it's facing towards the left. So if it's towards the left side of the attached piece, then the algorithm is L2, B2, L prime, F prime, L, B2, L prime, F prime, L prime. Done. So now this is another situation. This is the attached piece and the right side of the attached piece are having the corner pieces of same color facing towards the same direction. At this situation, there's an algorithm you have to apply here. So the algorithm is R2, B2, R, F, R prime, B2, R, F prime and R. Done? Solved? This is last and final situation where there is no attached corner piece anywhere. So in this situation, you can use the algorithm anywhere. So I'll use it here. So you can use it anywhere. You'd get an attached piece. So R2, B2, RF, R prime, B1, B2, RF prime and R. Done. So now I've got an attached piece here and look for the colors facing towards the same direction. Yeah. So red are facing towards the right. So if it's facing towards the right, then the algorithm is R2, B2, RF, R prime, B1, B2, RF prime and R. Solved. This is how you can solve a Rubik's Cube very much easily using beginner's methods. And the beginner method that I am using is solving it layer by layer. Thank you for watching my video. Please do follow and support my channel. Hope you like this video because your like gives me a boost to upload more videos. Please do subscribe, share and click the bell icon to get recent updates of my videos. Thank you.